Good evening, Anna. How are you?
Hi, good evening, Walter. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So give me a second, please. Were you able to do the writing part?
Yes, I finished the writing and the reading and writing. Just have a question. There are two assignments from C2 model. So I don't know if I have to do or no.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you didn't have any inconvenience with your homework, we're going to start with today's classes. But give me a second, please. I'm gonna bring I forgot my bottle of water. So please give me a second, right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm back. So we're gonna start with today's classes. Okay, so we stopped in what was on? Give me a second. I'm gonna look for it. And okay, we stopped in object adjective clauses, right?
Yes, yes. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So, okay, we've seen object adjective clauses, passive modals. Okay, all right. So, could you please give me, before to continue, could you please give me 3 verbs that are followed by gerunds?
That are followed by gerunds.
Yes, I sent
Uh,
you the list yesterday, right?
yes.
Okay.
Mind, avoid, and stop.
Okay. Could you please explain me if there is any difference, or when do we have to use gerunds and where do we have to use infinitives?
Okay, I remember we have to use the gerunds or when we are talking about I don't know how to explain. And action verbs, maybe. When you talk about an action verbs, you have to use the ing.
Are not the non-action verbs?
An action verbs.
Okay, we have the non-action verbs, but it's not part of the gerunds and the infinitives, right? Well, we're
Okay.
gonna use gerunds. It's a way to express, right? When the verb works as a noun, okay? This ing is it works as a noun. That's all, right? And we're
Okay.
gonna use infinitives when we have a purpose of something. There's no more. But the thing you mentioned, it's part of the non-action verbs, right? But it's nothing, it's not related to the lesson. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So in the first page, where the PDF I send you,
Okay.
we have a gerund, is a verb form that ends in ing, okay? And is used as a noun, walking, traveling. If I'm gonna say, walking is a good way to be healthy, right? In Spanish, it would it works though as a noun. Okay, I'm not saying walk because walk is the verb, but if I'm gonna say walking is a good way to be healthy or to stay healthy. Traveling, traveling. Let's suppose traveling. I don't know, traveling. Traveling is a good way to be to get to get distracted, right?
Okay.
Coding is it's a rule that we could have, for example, right? That we have. So as you can see, those of these verbs I said, right? Walk, travel, and vote, and you have in the PDF there, are working as a noun, okay? Pasa de que a veces no, claro, hay excepciones donde sí puede, el propósito de los gerundios y de los infinitivos podría ser también para evitar el choque de verbos, right?
Okay.
So we have in the first example, admit. He admitted is stealing the money, right? He admitted, right? Admit. Or no, we're gonna take another one. Finish. Okay, finish, right? Because the other one was not a verb. So we also have enjoy. Okay. We have finish, imagine, right? So she finished studying at about 10, right? We have two verbs, right? We have finished and we have studied. Si queremos evitar el choque de verbos, utilizamos el gerundio. El gerundio trabaja como nombre. En algunos casos, sí, en cuanto a traducción, sí puede ser entendido como ando al final de algún verbo, caminando, bailando, comiendo, ¿ok? Pero no siempre pasa. Entonces, el gerundio se le interpreta nombre. ¿Por qué? Para evitar el choque de verbos en una oración. De que va a existir, sí, pero en una manera muy informal. And the same works with infinitives, right? We have infinitives, and more than that, it works as a purpose of something. To buy, to help, to be, to meet, to come, to see, to be, to marry, to live, to know, to win, to enter, and then. Okay, everything is about purpose that you have. Do you get it?
Okay. Yes, I get it.
Okay, and you have to you have to memorize these verbs, right? Or maybe what is better for you to understand, to memorize. I have some students that they memorize some verbs and they remember, right? It's not my case. For example, I have a bad memory. So what it's more comfortable for you, it's okay. But the point is that you need to remember this verb. You don't have to forget it because
Okay.
it's gonna happen, right? In spoken English, if you don't know, maybe if you're gonna, for example, if you're gonna choose to use the verb miss, okay, but then the question is, am I going to use this with the infinitive or with the gerund, right? So then you have to remember that we use the gerund. I miss being with my family. I'm not saying I miss be or I miss to be, ¿ok? Entonces hay ciertas, ya cuando hablamos inglés, que sí o sí tenemos que saber, ese es uno de los temas más básicos que tenemos que saber, porque a veces pasa que queremos utilizar algún verbo y necesariamente por el contexto tenemos que utilizar otro verbo. Es el caso de miss. Voy a escoger miss y tengo otro verbo que es be, que está al lado, está en la diapositiva, en la parte de los gerundios. Entonces yo no voy a decir, I miss to be with my family, right? So I know, I immediately recognize that if I use this verb, then I have to use the gerund. So I miss being with my family, okay? So you can choose whatever verb you want, okay? Being, saying, living, okay? Drawing, trying, okay? La única parte donde sí se puede modificar, o puedes escoger cualquier verbo que tú quieras, es la segunda parte del verbo, right? I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm not sure if you get it. So, for example, we have this verb, we have one, we have the second verb, as you can see. Give me a second. Could you please give me a second?
Okay, it's no problem.
I'm sorry. She couldn't find the key, so okay. So I was explaining you. We have two verbs, right? And you know, and if it works as I told you, right? Maybe you have to memorize this verb. And I said maybe because maybe you have another way to understand, right? Maybe your way is practicing, okay?
Okay.
So the only thing that you have to keep in mind is if you're going to use whatever verb that it's in this list, right? Then maybe you have to choose, you should choose deny, discuss, enjoy, or whatever. Then the following verb, whatever verb you want, you have to conjugate it with the ing form. That's all. Entonces, lo primero que tendríamos que saber es memorizar tal vez, o memorizar, entender esta parte de los verbos, para que cuando tú puedas hablar, ya sepas inmediatamente si utilizar gerundio, ing, o utilizar el infinitivo. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Don't forget, the gerunds, right? They work as a
No.
noun, right?
Okay.
And infinitive works as a purpose. Not always, right? No siempre se traduce como nombre, pero en la mayoría de las veces sí se traduce. Traveling, no. What was my example? Yes, walking is a good way to be healthy, right? Caminar, right? I'm not saying caminando es una buena manera, right? No, it is understood as a, no. That's the reason of why I say caminar es una buena manera de mantenerse o de estar saludable, right? For that reason, we have these gerunds, okay?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it. Thanks.
Okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna ask you again, right? But not now. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But please, I'm gonna ask for whatever verb, right? So please try to memorize.
Okay.
And okay, so we're gonna continue with the lesson. Okay. Do you remember we've seen the other day the lesson of passive voice, right? I don't know if you remember. We
Passive
didn't.
voice. I was
Oh,
I did an an example and I used the passive voice, but I don't know what the passive voice.
oh yes, I guess we didn't see that lesson. Yeah, sure, I don't remember. Right. So the problem that I always have is that I don't remember what lessons we've seen because we have
Okay.
many groups. So then I don't know if it was with you, maybe what with one of my other students. So that's the problem. For that
Yes.
reason, that's the reason why I always ask in what part we stop.
No,
So
no problem. I
okay,
we don't study. We didn't study the passive voice.
oh, okay. So it's a similar. We have the passive voice, right? We have the active voice. Those are ways to
Okay.
express something, okay? And today we're going to start with passive models, right? We know how to use models, right? We already know how to use models, but in this lesson we're going to see a kind of combination with the grammar part. So let's listen the audio and pay attention to these two examples we have.
Hi, TV news is amazing. The latest news can be seen by people everywhere at the same time. So by now, Nick's story must be known all over the place. Can be seen and must be known are passive modals. We're going to learn more about them today.
Okay, the latest news can be seen. Next story must be known. Notice that we have the models and we have a different structure. So let's see. This is what I just asked you a moment ago. Verbs can have either an active or passive form, right? We use the active, and this is very simple, right? The active, right, is the doer, okay? The person that does an action, or maybe a group of people that do something. And the passive, okay, is the receiver, right?
Okay.
Okay, so with that, we're going to understand better the first audio.
Verbs can have either an active or a passive form. We use the active form of a verb when we want to focus on the agent, the doer of the action.
Talia's going to interview Nick later in the day.
The example focuses on Talia, the one who may interview Nick. We use the passive form of the verb when we want to focus on the receiver of the action.
Nick is going to be interviewed by Talia later in the day.
The example focuses on Nick.
Okay, so we have two examples, right? Talia is going to interview Nick later in the day. Nick is going to be interviewed by Talia later in the day. Could you notice any difference? between these two examples?
Yes, I can understand.
Okay. What is the difference that you
And the-
notice?
In the first one, we're talking about Talia. And the second one, we're talking about Nick. Of course, both are the same, but the focus is the other person.
Yes, the focus is changing, right? That's
Yes.
all. That's all, right? There is no more. We have Talia is going to interview Nick later in the day, and this is a structure that we use, right? We always use the active voice, right? But second example, Nick is going to be interviewed by Talia later in the day. So there is no
Okay.
different meaning, okay? Both are the same. The difference where I put my attention, okay? In the first one, I'm focusing or my attention goes to the doer of an action. Who is going to interview Nick later in the day? Talia. Who is going to be interviewed by Talia later in the day? Nick, and that's all. Right? Notice that we are changing a little bit the structure, not all, but a little bit. So the only purpose of this, right, is maybe when we want to focus that our attention on the receiver, right? We don't have more, right? So for that reason, we have this lesson when we want to change our attention. So is there any question until this part?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so let's continue with the second audio.
All verb forms, present, past, present and past continuous, present and past perfect, etc., can be used in the passive. We can also use modals in the passive. To form a passive modal, we use a modal plus be plus the past participle.
The recording can be edited.
Okay, we have the recording can be edited. Well, the functions of let's review right before to continue with the structure. The function of the passive voice is is used to show interest in the person or object that experiences an action, right, rather than the person or maybe the object that performs the action. Okay, so in other words, we have this lesson or the purpose of this lesson. The most important thing, or maybe the person, as we have in this first point, becomes the subject of the sentence, right? So let's continue with the structure. This is only with models, right? We are going to see another lesson. It's a little bit more in general, but if we want to understand that, we first need to know the beginning of this, and it's this one, the passive models. So all verb forms, we have the present, past continuous, present, past perfect, then can be used in the passive. Why? Because the passive voice, it's not a time tense, it's a way to express something. So for that reason, we can conjugate this passive voice with all the time tenses that we have. And when we want to change a little bit the view, we can also use models, right? In the passive, and this is the purpose of the lesson. To form the passive model, we're going to use, in this case, right, we have the receiver, okay? The receiver of an action, the receiver, or we can say the object could be the object of the sentence. What else can, how else, or what else? Okay, could be the noun, right? In other words, it's the thing or the person that is gonna receive an action. Okay, so
Okay.
then you are available to choose whatever model you want. Si bien es cierto que cada modal se clasifica por, we have models of advice, models of permission, right? Models of request, and then it's necessary to understand each model, or at least of each group of models, right? Then you're available to use whatever model you want, and it depends on the group. What do you want to express? If it's PowerPoint, it's an advice that you want to give. And then we're gonna continue with the verb be. I'm not going to modify this, right? I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna say can to be, can being. What else can we have? Is, are, no. I'm not gonna modify it, right? It's the structure is be. Then the only thing that I can modify and I can conjugate, instead of modify, we're gonna say conjugate is the verb. You can use whatever verb you want, but it needs to be in the past participle form. Edited, been, interviewed, as we have, right? And then, so that's the model. That's the model. That's the structure that we're going to use to form the model, the passive models. Okay.
Okay. Just a
any
question. Yep. What is the active voice of this sentence? The example.
Oh, that's a good question, right? The recording can be edited. To change this sentence into the active voice, we need a doer, but we don't have a doer, right?
Okay. Yes.
For example, the recording can be edited by Walter. Okay, so Walter can editate the recording.
Okay. Yes.
The active voice.
Okay, thanks.
Any question, maybe?
No, it's okay.
All right, cool. So, okay, let's continue with the next part. Okay, we're gonna see a fast review of the models. The first one is can. Let's listen the out.
We use can with the passive to talk about present or future ability.
The World Cup matches can be seen all over the world.
We use could with the passive to talk about past ability.
Nick's innocence couldn't be proven without Talia's help.
Okay, we're gonna use, we have to use can with the passive to talk about, well, we're all gonna focus on the model, right? Because we already know how to form the passive. Can for present and future abilities that we could have. I can swim, right? I can dance. I can't eat. I don't know. No, that's not an ability. I can't swim fast, for example, right? Or I can't play football, right? Or soccer. So those are abilities that we could have or not. We're gonna use can to talk about the present or future, right? So what else? Okay, the World Cup matches can be seen all over the world, okay? So this is this is the receiver, right? We're gonna call like that. No, this not, sorry. Only this part, the World Cup. The World Cup is the receiver, right? Who is going to receive this action, right? I know it sounds a little bit weird because we don't have a person in this case. We have an object. So the World Cup matches can be seen all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have Nick's innocence couldn't be proven without Talia's help. In this case, we're talking about Nick, the receiver of the action. Okay, we're gonna use could for the past. Can and could are the same. The difference, can for present and future, could for past, no more, right? So the negative, couldn't, we're gonna look for it. Oh, I guess we have, no, we don't. We have the option to show the something that could be maybe, couldn't be in this case. We have the negative, could not. Nick's innocence couldn't be proven without Talia's help, and it works as the same way of the models, right? Trabaja de la misma manera que un modal sin el pasivo, right? It actually works as the same way as we learned in the active voice. I can't swim, right? I couldn't travel yesterday because my flight was canceled, right? So, is there any question maybe?
No, it's okay.
That's cool. Let's continue with the second one. With the fourth one.
We use could, may, might, and can't with the passive to talk about future possibility or impossibility.
Dean might be sent to jail for framing Nick.
This means that it isn't necessary for Nick to speak to Talia. He has another choice.
Okay, we're gonna use could, may, might, can't with the passive to talk about future possibilities or impossibilities, right? We have may, might. Both are almost the same. We have can't to show an impossibility, right? But we have the case of could, right? Acá es un poco contradictorio. En realidad, could se puede utilizar en pasado, pero para utilizar tal vez acerca de future possibilities or impossibilities, we prefer to use can't, right? So try to use can't instead of could, okay?
Okay.
So we have Dean might be sent to jail for framing Nick. The interview may be scheduled for later today, right? So what else can we say about this? We already have, I don't know what's going on in this part, right? So we use could with the passive. Okay, but yes, that's for sure. We use could, make, might, and can't talk about future possibilities. Maybe it refers, right, to the impossibility of something, right? Tal vez acá tenemos el modal could porque estamos, bueno, sería la negativa en todo caso para hablar acerca de alguna imposibilidad, pero no cambia la situación. Can es para presente y futuro y could es para pasado, únicamente para pasado, right? I couldn't, for example, if I'm gonna say, or if I want to use the future, let's see how it works. How could it be? Maybe if we change the context, right? If we talk about a possibility, could be proven, could it be. Podría ser tal vez próxima traducción, como podría, right? Sí, podría. So in those cases, yes, we can use it could for future, right? Pero hay que ver el contexto. A moment ago, I said, how could it be, right? How could it be? In this case, I'm talking about the future, right? But we can also use could for the past. I didn't notice that part. Now I'm noticing this, for example. And yes, could be, right? Yes, we have a meaning of it in Spanish, right? Yes, I could travel. Yes, I could travel. Yes, we can, right? Podríamos utilizar el could en futuro siempre y cuando cambiemos el contexto o podamos añadir alguna palabra relacionada al futuro. For example, anytime tense, anytime work. For example, we have tomorrow, the next week, in 2 months, in 2 years, right? I could get married in 2 years, maybe, right? So it's a possibility for the future, right? So if I'm gonna say I I couldn't, no, I couldn't travel yesterday, right? So then notice I'm using yesterday to show a past situation, right? Or I couldn't approve my exam because I couldn't swim, a possibility. Do you get it?
Yes.
Or maybe is there any question?
I can understand, but it's a little confusing about the third point and the fourth point.
About what, sorry?
Cult is a little confusing.
Okay, well, we understand cool, right? Let's write. Give me a second, I'm gonna just a little color. Okay,
Okay.
so we have good, right? And we have can. We're gonna use can for present or future ability, right? So as we have could, we can use with past abilities, or we can also use for situations that are going to happen then, right? And the question here is, how can I make the difference? How do I notice if it refers to the future or for the past, for example? Because we have time, right? Not real, it's not a tense, so those are time phrases, right?
Okay.
For example, if we have yesterday, for the past, if we have tomorrow, for the future, right? Entonces lo que en realidad nos va a ayudar a identificar, porque sí creo que puedo imaginar cuál es tu duda. El could, right, es el pasado de can. En algunos casos también se puede utilizar en futuro. ¿Cómo sé cuál es cuál cuando voy a hablar o cuando quiero entender? Porque en cada oración, right, en cada palabra, en cada cláusula que tal vez vamos a hablar, tenemos los time phrases. So these time phrases are going to help you to understand better in what time tense the person is talking, or in what time tense you're going to talk, right? So if I'm going to say, I could get married. In 2 years. Okay, my question here is this an ability or it's a possibility?
It's a possibility.
Okay, so we're using could.
Okay.
Could used for possibilities, right? If I'm gonna say I couldn't swim yesterday. Oh, no. Oh, no, yes, it was great. Oh, no, I couldn't play because I'm terrible on it. I couldn't play soccer yesterday. Okay, is this an ability or it's a possibility?
It's ability.
Okay, so there you have. En caso de que tal vez no tengamos algún time phrase, right? Podemos entender por el contexto, right? I couldn't play soccer. Puedo entender que no es una posibilidad, más bien es una habilidad. Okay, so we're gonna, you have to see the context. What do you have? If it's an ability, if you want to talk an ability or maybe a possibility for the future, then you are available to choose could though. Okay?
Okay, it's okay.
All right, now is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. All right, so let's continue with the next point. And we have morals of advice, right? Among them, we have should, ought to, or oughta, right? And had better. The difference, the strongest is had better, right? And it's a little bit more formal. Ought to is also formal, and the least formal is should, right? It's very informal, but you can use it. It's not wrong, right? It's not wrong. We actually use more should than the other one. Okay? So let's listen.
We use should, ought to, and had better with the passive to talk about advice.
The soccer federation ought to be told right away about Nick's innocence.
Okay, we're gonna continue. The soccer federation, right? This is the receiver, right? The soccer federation ought to or should be told right away about Nick's innocence, right? To understand the context, to tell the truth, I really don't get the context at all. It's part of the video. I need to see the video to catch the meaning, right? At all. So
Yeah.
the soccer federation to be told right away about Nick's innocence. Yes, it's part of the video. I don't
Yes.
watch those. So
Yes, it's about the videos.
yes, maybe you're gonna understand better if you watch the video. I've seen the videos, but could be maybe from the other book, not this one, right? Because we
Okay.
focus more on the speaking and then. So let's talk about the structure, right? We have the receiver, we have the moral of advice because we want to express that, and something that I want to emphasize. We only have two modals, right? That works with infinitive, okay? It's ought to and have to. Those are exceptions in our list that we have of the models, and they also work with the base form of the verb ought to be. So have to be edited. Okay. So take care. And we're gonna finish with these two models of necessity. We sometimes want to express a necessity. So we're gonna continue with the last point.
We use have to and must with the passive to talk about necessity.
The recording had to be edited.
Okay, so we have the receiver, the modal, and the rest of the structure, the verb be, plus the verb in its participle form. Okay. I want to emphasize something that we don't have in this lesson. We sometimes use by when it's relevant information, right? By the president, I don't know, by the president. By the president, for example, right? If it's relevant information and it's important one, then we're gonna use by. Okay, and the person doing the action. But if it's not necessary or if it's irrelevant, we're gonna omit it and we're gonna just say like that. Okay?
It's okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, so
just a
let's-
question. Ought and ought to and had to must go with be.
Well, the lesson by itself needs to be with be, right?
Okay.
So whatever modal you're going to use, then you have to use be.
Yes, of course.
Be, might be, maybe. Okay?
Okay.
But the only thing that I mentioned, it was that you don't have to forget that the modal is followed by the infinitive. Okay?
Okay.
And the base form of the verb as currently works without the modals. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, thanks. Let's continue. We're gonna practice. We're gonna do the first practice, and then we're gonna practice our speaking. Give me a second. What's going on with this page? Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Once you can see it, please let me know.
I can see.
Oh, could you please read instruction?
Of course. Complete the sentences. Choose the correct answer. When?
right?
Talia did a great job. She has to be promoted now.
Okay. Talia
My
did
confession
well. She has to be promoted, right?
promoted.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. My confession all over the country, it'll be a star. My confession will be seen all over the country. Yes.
Okay.
Talia, me after practice today. Could be. Talia could be interviewed me after practice today. We have to keep the game honest and Dean always to play professional sports again. We have to keep the game honest. Dean. Sure. Should be allowed. Dean had better a good lawyer. Had better Dean had better find a good lawyer.
Jim had better find a good lawyer.
Find.
Or find.
No, the second one.
Okay. Let's continue with number 6.
Nick most valuable player this year. Nick
Could you pronounce this again?
valuable?
Okay, yes, it's okay. It's more like an E, right? Available.
Available. Okay, available. Nick most valuable player this year. Nah, Mike might be voted. We called Dean Bishop, but he located for his comments on this story. That he couldn't be. And Nick's fans must the truth. That's my job. Nick fan must be told the truth.
Okay. Do you want to modify something?
I'm gonna review, please. So that
Yes.
could be me after breakup. It's okay. We have to keep the game honest, team. It's okay.
Okay, let's submit. Let's see. Okay, you got 3 mistakes, right?
Okay.
Let's see. The third one, Talia, could we interview me? Okay, so that's the incorrect, that's the mistake. Talia, could we interview me? It doesn't make sense after practice today. In a second, let me.
My interview.
Yes, might interview me after practice today. Because the attention goes to the doer, right? I'm the receiver. So
Yes.
there you have the answer. We have to keep the game honest. Dean should be allowed to play professional sports again. Shouldn't, right? Shouldn't be allowed to play professional sports again. Okay, so I guess this is part of the video. I guess Nick had problems with I guess he lied on something, right? If I'm not wrong. For that reason, it needs to be the negative one. We have to keep the game honest. Dean shouldn't be allowed to play professional sports again. Do you get it?
What does the meaning of allow?
In which part? Allowed? Oh,
Yes.
That's the meaning of allow, right? Like
Okay.
a permission.
Okay, yes, so it shouldn't be.
Yes, right?
Yep.
Although it's the verb in it. Yeah, it could be, right? Could be. Podría ser the first answer, but because of the context, we have to choose the negative. But it's not wrong, right? For example, if we're not gonna have this first part, or the context is gonna change, grammarly talking, it's okay.
Okay.
And we have Dean had better finds a good lawyer. Could you find a mistake?
Find.
Okay, that the correct answer was fine. Why? This is a model.
Yes, so after the model, it's the verb in the base form?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No matter what model are we gonna use, but and this is a rule. Okay, we don't have to forget, even if it's a third person. For example, if we're not gonna have the model, yes, could be finds. Dean finds a good lawyer. But as we have a model, we have to follow the structure. Dean had better find a good lawyer. This is an advice. Dean had better find a good lawyer. Do you get it?
Okay. Yes, I get it.
Okay, don't forget that part, please. Whatever model you're gonna use, should, might, could, can, may, ought to, have to, then what else? I guess so.
Better.
Oh yes, had better. I forgot that one. You have to follow the next word that you're gonna use needs to be in its base form. Even if you're talking third person, it's a rule. Don't forget. Okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So what else could we say? I guess I'm forgetting something, but I don't remember what. Okay. Okay, did I already assign you the homework of past and real conditional? Yes, right? C2.
Past
Let me
and real
check.
conditional.
Oh no, I didn't. Right? I didn't assign. So I'm gonna assign you the homework, right? You're gonna have until what day is today? Wednesday. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Once you can see it, please.
I can see.
Okay, So there you have the C2. We're gonna, the speaking, we're practicing our classes. For example, oh no, the vocabulary, right? We have the speaking, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Okay. The listening, the pronunciation, no, because we practice it in classes. Then the reading, yes, the writing, and we're gonna have the review quizzes. What happened? Okay. Okay. So you're gonna have this for homework, right? We're on Wednesday. 1, 2. Well, since tomorrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Until Monday, is it okay for you?
Yes, it's okay. I'm gonna do.
All right. So you're gonna have until midnight. You have 5 or 6 days available. I would recommend you to do maybe a minute, right? At homework per day, an activity or 2 activities per day. So from that way, you're gonna avoid to accumulate all the homework in the quiz, so it's terrible. So okay, what else? Okay, so it is already assigned, right? So you have homework in the quiz. I didn't enable the time. Okay, so
Thanks.
you're gonna be to finish up in case you have any problem like the other day. So don't worry. Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, don't worry. So that will be everything for today. Please use the pool. If it's done, let me know.
Okay, I did.
Okay, thanks. So I'm gonna launch the second book.
Okay.
So please fill it.
It's okay.
Cool. So all right. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow at the same hour. Is it okay?
Yes, tomorrow more, it's okay.
Okay. So then tomorrow we're gonna
I will
see
change. Tomorrow is Wednesday. To
no, today is Wednesday, tomorrow is Thursday.
yeah, for Thursday. Please, can we change the schedule maybe in the morning if you can?
Tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Thursday. To Thursday.
Friday.
Yes, yes, for Friday. Sorry. I was thinking today is martes.
No. We're
Yes.
Tuesday, right? Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay,
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
ask tomorrow the date of the week, right?
yes, please, because I forget that. For Friday, can we change the schedule, please?
Yes, for sure. Don't worry. There's
Okay,
no problem. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna schedule tomorrow, and then we're gonna see at what time are you available. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Walter. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye-bye.